Yow! What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the broadcast. I'm your host, eXtine, and welcome to X Television for our UGC Platinum Playoffs broadcast for tonight. This is the lower bracket finals. Loser goes home with third place, which is still a very respectable 20% of the community fundraised prize pot, while the winner here will stay in the fight, get to carry on, and go up against Menace to Society in the grand finals, which will be played on Monday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And if this team from the lower bracket is successful in that best of three, then we will have another best of three next Thursday night. So UGC playoffs have gotten very, very serious. Big money is on the line, and I'm joined by two fantastic co-casters for tonight's spectacle. And I am talking about Huey Lewis and Frank West. Huey, how are you doing, buddy?
Doing pretty well. A little tired, but excited to watch this game tonight.
Excellent. And Frank, how about you, man?
Pretty much the same. It's been a long week at work, but I'm looking forward to tonight's game.
Nice. I'm glad that us and our crowd, our great audience here tonight, already breaking 600, can enjoy this fantastic night of Highlander together. We got two great teams. Let's pull up the lineup, at least start talking about it. Gentlemen's Club, Huey, do you want to take it down, run us down that lineup?
Yeah, sure. There's a couple subs from the roster that we saw Monday night. First off, Paragon, instead of Deadbolt, is going to be playing Scout for Gentlemen's Club tonight. Just the other twin. Not too much of a difference, I don't think. Still Ash on Soldier, putting Cup on Pyro, Grape on Demo, Arthur on Heavy. Pulse is the other sub. He's going to play Engineer in place of Valen tonight. Pulse is really good at pretty much everything he does, so they're not going to really feel that loss too strong, I don't think. Kozin on Medic, Max on Sniper, and Akuma on Spy.
Yeah, that is a pretty good roster. They're up against a very talented roster as well, which is the MurderForce9k roster. We got Shrugger on Scout, Remedy on Soldier, Fathom on Pyro, Ruin, who is absolutely on fire Monday night, on Demo Man, Snailboat on Heavy Weapons Guy, Sigafu on Engineer, Indust on Medic, Fox on Sniper, and Stabby on Spy. So MurderForce9k ready to go here, ready to kick some ass. And this is going to be an intensely fought over Badwater map. Now, Frank West, who do you favor out of these two teams, and what do you think the strengths are in regards to this map, Badwater?
I definitely favor GC for this map. Max with his really good sniping, Fox is good, but Max is going to be able to control a whole space by himself, and they've just got such strong people in their combo as well. I couldn't even say exactly what matchups make the difference other than Max.
Yeah, sometimes it's the whole unit, you know. It's the combination of the Heavy Weapons Guy, the Demo Man, how the Soldier is interacting, as well as how the Spy is getting in there and getting involved. Paragon and Deadbolt going to be basically identical players. Shouldn't be a problem, the substitution there. And Akuma was certainly big the other day as well, and will be very important to watch in this engagement. Now, for MurderForce, I always like watching Sigafu do his engineer work. Frank, we talked a little bit about you being an engineer. I got respect for you as an engineer. I don't know where it came from, but I've seen a lot of games, and somewhere in there, I highly respect your engineering. How do you rate this matchup between Sigafu and Pulse here?
Pulse is really good, but I don't know that he has much experience playing against real organized teams. I know he plays a lot in Pugs. I don't even know if he's ever subbed Engineer before. I think he's very good, but I do have to give the edge to Sigafu. Sigafu is one of the best Engies out there.
And how might that play out in terms of like what spots we see or what items we see used from these different engineers?
I expect Sigafu to use a lot of Eureka effect. He really likes using that and getting out of there. I would expect Pulse to use more Rescue Ranger, which doesn't pair well with the Eureka effect. I would also possibly expect Pulse to use a slightly less orthodox spots. He likes doing slightly weird things. I might see a kind of unexpected spot from him, and maybe that will work, and maybe it won't.
Interesting thoughts.
And
Huey,
in fact, speaking of unexpected spots, he's setting up right now above the overhang, which is not the usual spot for the sentry.
Yeah, that is very interesting. It'll be a good sightline for that Wrangler, of course, but fairly susceptible to Demo Man spam. Huey, any quick thoughts from you as the gates drop here?
Well, just when you have players ringing on classes they don't main, I mean, I think the main difference might be that Sigafu's going to know a little bit more about what he can get away with on Engineer. Pulse is going to just know the nuances, though, even though he's really good. So, anyway, we are live.
Yeah, no big bomb out from blue team. They're letting their spy, Stabby, get behind. He's going to get an easy stab. And no home wrecker from the Pyro. The Engineer does get over there, does get the Sapper off. Stabby goes down. So it was really just him scouting it out. They know where it is. And the Sentry Gun's going to be moved. Gets switched up top. So just kind of a starting location. But the Sniper's got a great angle on it. So I don't know. Blue team might be able to take this out easy.
Yeah, Grape's already down to Fox. And Blue has control of the hill right now. And I think that's pretty much going to signify a retreat from Red. Kozen's already looking like he wants to back out. Yeah, once that hill is given up to the Sniper and the Engineer, it's kind of over for the defense. This is pretty much what we saw at Gentleman's Club Monday night, though. They didn't want to really put too much effort into holding the first point. Probably a good idea.
Yeah, pretty tactical. An interesting switch around with Gentleman's Club and that Sentry Gun, but not really effective. Grape was extremely aggressive there. I'm not quite sure exactly how that broke down, but that's a huge loss for Red.
Yeah, Kozen went down up on top of the roof to Stabby. No one was watching their backs up there, and Kozen lost his Uber. Blue's already pushing up.
Wow.
They're already going to start a spawn camp here as they get this second point, and this is probably going to continue to third point for free, I would expect.
Yeah.
Full Uber advantage.
A lot of murdering going on right now. The force is in effect. And, wow, I don't know what is happening to our stream chat either right now. But, hello, I guess.
Oh, my.
Oh, I know who that is.
Yeah,
oh, whatever.
Anyways,
Gentleman's
back to
Club's
the
going to
action.
pretty much be forced to hold last only here. This is, I don't know, MurderForce is just so good at Badwater. I think I would have given the edge to them in this matchup. And any other map, I think Gentleman's Club would probably take it, but MurderForce seems to, like, own Badwater this season.
I was gonna say, if you don't get your sentry gun, except for last point, if you don't get your sentry gun set up on second or third ahead of time, you aren't gonna get it set up, and that's gonna make it so much harder to hold those points. If I were Pulse, I would have gone straight to third and not trying to build up on the roof.
He is there now, set up down below, while Fox gets the upper hand on Max. And Heavy's pushing in here. Spy coming in, try to get does get a stab on Grape and gets away. So, oh no, it does not get away. Still a nice pick there. Blue's putting a lot of pressure on this point.
Yeah, I'm just kind of watching Blue hold the high ground here, just very slowly push up, try to get any pick they can. They do a pretty good job of taking down some numbers while they're building Uber. Ruin's going to take the Uber straight in here. They're going to try to lock out Kozen up in the tower. Kozen hasn't popped quite yet, though. Only a couple people died from Gentleman's Club, so this Uber's actually in pretty good shape. Akuma coming in and finishing, actually backstabbing in Dust and Ruin.
Yeah, that was a big play on the defensive part there of Gentleman's Club. The sentry went down, but it took a very long time. Sigafu actually jumped in there to kind of like suicide and just distract the attention away from it. But once the air cleared and that Uber came in from Red, they were just able to kind of resettle here. The Spy Stabby is going to go down and just kind of being a nuisance, not really anything damaging to the setup here.
Yeah, even though they got pushed back to the last point pretty quickly, I think last is probably Gentleman's Club's best hold. I've seen them stall out last point for 8, 9, 10 minutes in scrims, so they're going to do a pretty good job here unless MurderForce can get some kind of big advantage, which right now...
Well, Ruin is in map room uncontested and takes down the sentry.
Yeah, that's
they don't have
big.
Anybody up in map room.
This Uber is close as well, so the timing's very good for that sentry gun going down. There goes Pulse as well, 20-second respawn, so no sentry guns anytime soon. Sigafu is pushing the cart right now, just him solo. There goes Stabby getting in on it as well. Soldier Ash is going to come in, clears off the cart, and Blue is down. But here comes the Uber, a little bit late.
Yeah, kind of a weird Uber there. You kind of your main forces are down, so they just use the Uber and run away.
Yeah, maybe that was what they were figuring. Let's just get a cycle here.
Yeah, I mean, MurderForce did a really great job of just as they were pushing up, just kind of dry pushing, trying to take down, or trying to gain a numbers advantage over Gentleman's Club. They were just pushing the cart the entire way. They got a significant way toward the cap point.
Yeah, the good stop though. White Gentleman's Club. Frank, what did you see there? What do you think was the key to that defense?
I think that the MurderForce didn't get as much position as they could have, they had a lot of people forward, but not everybody. And like you said, that Uber came in so late, and GC just stayed back, stayed comfortable, sat there heavy on the ramp shooting eye lasers. Didn't extend into them and just said, we'll wait here until
Uber is coming in though, so
Christian
Inta's
out.
built it a lot better than Kozin. Kozin goes down trying to get back into spawn. So this is looking really good for MurderForce right now.
Yeah, definitely good penetration by the combo. Right now they're hooked into this back area, stuck in there, but Ruin does battle his way out. He's got the full pocket mode on. They're going to be able to clear this out. Medic getting attacked by the scout, but no problem. Paragon goes down. That's a wipe. And big plays. That was a proper Uber. Pulse had switched over to the minigun at that time, and the Uber just came all the way across. They took territory. I'm sure Ruin was whipping his team along, and very excellently performed final push, and that's still an extremely fast time.
Yeah, absolutely. Inta's just built that Uber a lot better than Kozin did towards the end there, and went in while Kozin was still at about 80%. They just let in with Shrugger, who just ran straight for Kozin, and there was no one in position really to push him back. No pyro, no heavy kind of to block or anything. Kozin just had to run for his life and couldn't quite make it out.
Mm-hmm.
And Highlander has so many people who are hurt all the time, it's easy to lose track of the fact that you actually need to be building your Uber. You don't see those tiny advantages. Like, tiny advantages can be important, but you don't usually see people actually build them like that often, especially on a map like this where there's a lot of back and forth. But in that case, they really did just build the Uber faster and push off it.
Yeah, definitely. To get a little bit more technical about that, when you're buffing players, it doesn't build as fast as if you were, healing one target who was hurting themselves and below their natural health. So definitely in Highlander with more targets to heal, certainly a big factor there. Let's see how the offense can go here, though, for Gentleman's Club. As the gates drop, no players flying out yet. Spy's going to come in behind the engineer Pulse, but nothing going on there. Just pushing the cart right now and trying to get sniper position for Max.
This round, this offense, Gentleman's Club really needs to take down Indus. They need big advantages to make it here in time. Kozin's already out. You can see he's already pushing the heals up. He's ready to Uber, but Grape goes down to Fox again.
That's a good snipe.
Stabby coming in, kind of get taken out on the ground.
Getting that cart as far as possible first. Go ahead, Huey.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like they need to go quickly, and they're kind of indecisive. They're going to come underneath on the cart path. There's a sticky trap though right on the edge. I wonder if they're going to see it or not. Ruin's kind of watching it. Okay, they saw it. They popped the time.
Before they went out.
Yeah, they're not going to get the gun out of this though. They're going to have to retreat a snail boat and Indus drop down to deal with the Uber.
Good job keeping everybody healthy though, as Snailboat didn't get a single kill there with that Uber charge, so definitely more results off of using it earlier with Ruin. The sentry gun did get shifted around a little bit, but has been abandoned.
Yeah, Max actually snuck around the corner while it was raining.
Yeah, he took down Sigafu and then just kind of no-scoped the sentry a few times just to take it down. So it's not a bad time on first. They're going. Ubers are even, so I think Gentleman's Club is probably going to try a dry push. Non-Uber push, see if they can get forward and maybe get Kozin out.
Wow, Remedy just crushed Ash. Big plays on the roof, but generally speaking, yeah, the roof has been abandoned. Shrugger tried to come up from behind, but he got taken out. Ruin getting a little bit of damage out there, and he's actually separated from the combo, so he's going to back up. Spy comes to it. Yeah, Kuma just pistols him down, so that's a nice pick. But not that many players up for blue, to be honest.
They're doing the smart thing, and they're just sticking right with Kozin while he's safe right now. They're making sure he gets Uber. If they go now without Ruin up, they have a pretty good opportunity here to take some ground, probably get this cap point.
Yeah, also no Remedy as well. He's a big pick class, working the flanks. Shrugger comes in, kills Paragon, puts pressure on Max, and actually is on top of Akuma as well. So big triple kill for Shrugger. Is still skirting away, so he's going to remain a nuisance. Eventually somebody's going to kill him, but he's just stuck in tunnel back here, being obnoxious.
Yeah, they used their Uber to drop down and get the point, but pretty much everyone on MurderForce, I don't think there were any picks for Gentleman's Club as they moved in, so they just backed up and they're going to hold third.
It was already got his level 3 up, so they are ready. He's up in the window. He's got that window spot.
Yeah, it was never really a serious defensive too. Sorry, but go ahead, Huey.
As they were talking, Kozin actually went down. Remedy came in from behind, and a couple shots from the black box took him down, which it's not great, but Indus already had like 100% Uber advantage to begin with, so just kind of another 30 seconds or so ticked off.
With With Kozen going down there, they're going to need to have at least one successful dry push, I think, to cap in time.
Yeah, they got a couple minutes. It's pretty much going to come down to this next push. I think Kozen is actually, he's on crit spree. It's only about 20% right now, though. He's going to have to build up. They need a force out of Indus, though, where that crit screen's not going to really do too much unless MurderForce just misplays it completely. But against this, the Sentry moved? Yeah, it looks like it did actually go down, so it's probably not going to be built. There, is he going to rebuild it up here in the window? Yeah, he is. Risky, but worth it.
There's not a lot of metal there. Does he have a dispenser? I don't see one, so that's going to take a while to get to level 3, which it really needs to be, because that extra height you get with the level 3 lets it shoot a lot easier.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to crits from top left. Blue is Grape's ready to go. Just kind of waiting for a pick from Max. The sniper is down. Here we go. One crit onto... they know it's coming now, though, so they're just going to back up. They need to get on the cart right now.
Does get a long-range crit, but Savage just dead ringers through it, to be honest, so he probably will not expect this fight here.
Probably going to go down. Yeah. Uber coming in.
Yeah, actually might not have needed that Uber. I mean, it's always good for protection. Kozen's so far back, not really building with anybody, so still have close charges here. And Max is getting closed in here by Shrugger. Fox helps out by cleaning Ash. Shrugger's still alive and fighting over there.
Yeah, this is pretty much within the realm of impossibility for MurderForce. The card needs to be moving constantly at this point for them to get in, so right now they're just going to see how far they can get in. They're going to talk about things for the next round. Kozen going down to Fox, as we say that.
Gentleman's Club not going to be able to do it here. MurderForce 9000 put up an excellent time on offense and a very fantastic showing on defense here. So, of course, we won't see the fourth point most likely since they got it on lockdown and not going to be able to push it that far in 30 seconds. So, kind of a technicality for these last 20 seconds, but we'll see, you know, maybe figure out how to get through this. That sentry gun is in a pretty devious spot by Sigafu, and certainly this next upcoming defense, they're going to have to deal with it once again. So, MurderForce 9000 taking this first set here in this best of 3. We have at least one more set, a Gentleman's Club will come out on offense, set a fast time, and they'll be in a great spot to push this to a third set. Some thoughts, gentlemen? Huey, why don't you go first?
I want to take a look at the stats here. So judging by the stats, they're readying up pretty much instantly. Let's see if I can pull up the first round, see really what the difference was. Indus died once, Kozen died 4 times. I mean, neither really died too often. Ruin was 18 and 4, to Grapes 5 and 10. It was pretty much just the picks went in the way of MurderForce, excuse me.
They got good picks and they got good timing on those picks, and they just it worked. A lot of the picks that were happening for GC just weren't picks they needed at the time they needed.
Yeah, and that comes down to kind of team cohesion and just kind of how you're pushing and your aggressiveness. And it was definitely well done by MurderForce. I remember particularly just kind of the one push that was like, they took the sentry gun out and then their Uber was ready like right afterwards. And it's just kind of that 1-2 punch when kind of contrasting that with the other side where it was like they pushed in, they took the Uber, but it was such a long extended fight, and then by the time the Uber charge came in, it was nothing happening. So or maybe that maybe I'm getting my teams mixed up a little bit, but definitely kind of those are the circumstances where it works, and those are circumstances when it doesn't. You know, you got to have everything clicking together.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was just actually pulling up the playoff bracket as you're saying this. I mean, teams have been so even this season. Just once the playoff hits, we're actually looking at MurderForce is the 7th seed, the second to last seed in the playoffs, actually. Gentleman's Club coming in at 2nd. First seed's already gone.
Yeah.
Teams are so even, it just feels like the maps are kind of deciding the playoffs.
It's a big part of it.
Which team is really overall maybe better, maybe not. Who knows? Yeah,
I mean that's a big debate at the core of Highlander, and I think that UGC is making positive strides in the sense that next season we have a little bit of time to talk about this, but we'll keep it brief. But next season they have kind of the team captains being more involved. They've already voted to have the playoff maps be from the same pool as the regular season. And I think we have that a little bit this season, but in the past with UGC, it wasn't necessarily the case. You'd play maps all season, and then in playoffs they'd be different. And I think also definitely, yeah, what you're talking about is the core of Highlander, also how it plays team strengths. Do they play well on payload? Do they play well on 5 control point?
Yeah.
And we'll get to see that next week in the best of 3.
Yeah, and I think that it's been talked about a little bit. One of the things they might do next season is have, for the entirety of playoffs, not just the finals, have teams that eliminate maps to play each week. So you're not going to see maybe every team play the same map every week during playoffs, which would be, I think, pretty interesting to see.
I'd really like to see that.
The fact that MurderForce is doing so great in the lower bracket, and essentially they're the second time that they're playing maps back to back. So they've already played Badwater once this week. I'm ready to go again. Now Akuma comes out and Stabby, both of them, just getting dead ringered. Actually, sorry, excuse me. Akuma's actually down. So they're pushing slow into the tunnel. The sentry's back, kind of a slightly different spot, slightly more tucked in. Can't really get to that tunnel entrance. And right now we already have a mini sentry under there, and a lot of blue players. Red is going to have to deal with this.
Yeah, Kozen's already out. He's dancing around, just kind of checking his back every possible second he can. Looks like he's probably going to back up into spawn. It looks like they were trying to buff Max up the hill to hopefully get a pick. But
yeah, here comes the drop from Snailboat. He gets 2 kills. Grape also went down as well somewhere in that exchange. Kozen is up and safe though, so they got the cart as far as they needed to, and they've maintained the Uber charge as well. I think they actually just kept Kozen in spawn that whole time, pretty much.
Well, he came out, but he went back in, I think, when it was evident that Indus was about to pop. So I think if they just Uber towards the cart, they'll be able to get this in.
Yeah, it should
Max
be
has got really good position, too.
They're going to go over the top. Only just their engineer Pulse coming on the cart itself right now. Need a few more players up there, but they have cleared up the upper area, and this is all over in regards to the first
yeah, Sigafu actually stayed in an awful long time and ended up going down to that Uber. Like, once its team's Uber was popped, he probably should have started getting himself out of there and building on the roof, but I don't know if he's going to have time to set it up. They're not putting anyone on the roof except Remedy right now. Pulling around. Indus will have Uber.
Stabby did a dead ringer behind. I think he's going to kind of slip away.
Kozen just went down to a great bomb by Remedy. He was waiting on top of the vents and just didn't even rocket, just dropped off the roof.
Wow. That's a big pick there. Very important. This offensive push still rolling though, as there wasn't really that Sigafu sentry gun. He's been working on it on the 3rd point though, while this is kind of the same thing we saw last round. Definitely a bit more passive defense. Put Remedy up on the roof, everybody else just already on the other side of the horseshoe.
Yeah, this 3rd point is such a good hole when you're going into it with a full Uber advantage on the red team. So, yeah, this is going to be just like we saw last round. Gentleman's Club couldn't quite push the 3rd point at the end.
Stabby spots out Akuma, and he gets scattergunned down by Shrugger. Very nice cleanup to just kind of early diffuse the push. There goes Ash as well, so some of the offensive power already gone here, but Blue's still going to push in here. At least try to. They lose their heavy weapons guy.
Well, yeah, the one thing they're not doing too well when they're dry pushing is moving the cart. And right now, it's the sentry gun that's kind of stopping them from doing that. That's what's so good about this point, is it's really, really, really hard to dry push it. You really need an Uber and some kind of advantage going in to get the cart up this hill when there's a gun there. Max
snaps down Fox, which is always nice for the sniper coverage, but he gets killed by Shrugger at the same time. Spy's trying to re-infiltrate, get in position to make something happen. Also, we're starting to see some jumps, some movements coming in. Oh god, big air shots from the blue soldier. Ash is going to pull ahead in that black box fight. He's got 135. He's coming up on the sentry gun. He does take down Sigafu, no problem. Oh, but not the sentry gun. It is up, but not going to be able to be wrangled. And Paragon trying to clean that up. He goes down. It is on fire. But if it can get some things in range, it is still going to fire. Oh, there we go.
Goes down to a crossbow.
Yeah, Kozen handles it down.
Indust actually didn't pop the entire time, so he's still got full Uber advantage, but this is much easier to dry push now that they just need to get up here and get a force out of Indust. Like, there's no sentry. They need to move the cart and force Indust to come to them.
Yeah. Force them to come out of this corner. Ooh, big headshot to the heavy weapons guy. He goes down. Blue has lost a lot of their players on this push, but Red's just going to give it to him for free.
Interesting. Indust is... Oh, wow. Fathom saving Indust there. That was... Yeah. Had to be some kind of miscue. And there's a gun going up, but Sigafu's down and the gun was on point 3, so... This is actually really, really good for Gentleman's Club, even though they're still behind on Uber.
Where did Sigafu go down again? Sorry.
Just around the 3rd point, I think. He was building by the big health pack on that corner there, so
yeah,
the big
definitely.
pack.
It definitely seemed like a bit of a miscue then, because they should have invested the Uber early if they were going to invest the sentry gun in that location.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, this is really actually uncharacteristic of MurderForce. They actually like to Uber out aggressively on defense to try to pick the medic, and just to give it up like that, that's really strange.
Definitely the issue with the Uber charge as well is they had a big advantage, and now they've just been sitting here, and the spy's going to come in. Thankfully, is dealt with by Fathom. Here comes the blue Uber charge that's going to force the red one out. Blue is just going to back up afterwards. Red Uber tries to get some stuff done. Ruin does do a little bit of picks here. Also, Fox with a nice snipe on the heavy weapons guy.
Yeah, really smart by Ruin there. He stopped anyone from pushing the cart while the Ubers were being exchanged there. He didn't let anyone get forward. So that was just a complete reset.
Getting really good position top at the spawn.
Yes, Snailboat was trying to play ninja heavy, but Ash caught a mid sandwich. Dealt with that. Dealt with Sigafu's teleporter. And gonna dead ringer clean up Stabby. Actually,
great
still
pushing
dead ringer.
from red spawn. Demo and so
Stabby cleans that up.
Stabby ends that plan immediately.
Stabby.
There's
Stabby,
a ton
literally.
of people on the cart though, moving it forward. The guns by itself, it's going to be rescue ranger actually before it can go down.
And
but
a
it's going to go down
fantastic
again.
stab by Stabby on that heavy weapons guy. He literally jumped out of the window, did a 180, and got the stab there. Indus with a couple Uber saws. That gives him Uber charge, and that offensive push is going to be stopped. What was a interesting play by Ash and Grape coming around the flank map room turned into a disaster as Stabby gets a double stab and a 180 air stab on the heavy weapons guy. So big 3K by Stabby there.
Also worth noting, when Sigafu pulled his level 3 gun back, it was very injured, but when you move a level 3 gun and it builds itself back up, it actually heals itself, sort of. So it can take a lot of damage in that state.
As you say that, Akuma uncloaks behind the gun and takes down Sigafu and finishes the sap. So Ubers were exchanged. It's like Gentleman or MurderForce. I can't get these teams' names correct, but they're coming off the better side of it. Pudding actually jumps down, trying to go for a play on to Indus, gets him down to 70. Couldn't quite finish it.
Still a pretty suffocating defense by MurderForce. They have players on their flanks they got to deal with now. It was Ash, but he's actually jumped, so... No, never mind. It's just the spy up there right now. These outlines through the walls are very helpful, but sometimes on maps like these, hard to judge distances correctly.
Well, the one thing I'm noticing is that Kozen's just not getting Uber near as quick as Indus has been this entire time. So Indus is going to maintain pretty much the advantage he's had the entire game. Has he died once? I don't remember, honestly.
Max getting a snipe from Fox, which then means he's in that window and pretty much free to snipe. He's going to rotate now as Blue is also starting to pressure in more. Indus does have Uber charge. He's hanging out down low, has dropped Ruin, and then pops the Uber. Maybe one of those like, oh no, he's at 29 health too, so he definitely had to pop it for his own safety. I'm sure that...
Stabby's going to come up behind this Uber, take down Arthur. Gun is still up, level 3, wrangled.
If Arthur had not gone down there, that would have been a dead gun and probably a cat.
Yeah, another pretty clutch play by Stabby.
Stabby's getting just perfect timing on these stabs.
Kozen going down there. That was really, they just Ubered, didn't do anything about the cart. They could have pushed that cart pretty simply while they were Ubered. They had no one near it.
Yeah, Sugar tries to go hero, ends up being able to skirt away and get closet, respawn health, which is good, much faster than the very slow respawn timer here. And Red is starting to stabilize once again. Max gets Fox, and the spy Akuma's in here. He's very lit though, so maybe still a little bit of a hope for continued pressure from Blue. But it's starting to stabilize. His Ruin is back up, as are some other key defensive players.
Yeah, the cart's rolling back too. It's just, I don't know, Murph or Gentleman's Club. It just isn't really focusing the cart too well. Arthur gonna jump in, take down Fathom.
Still an interesting battle. Here comes Blue. Paragon is right in through the stairs, gets Indus as Ruin was trying to back up, and they could be following this up. I don't know where Gentleman's Club is right now.
Yeah, this should be the push, but they're getting denied by this wrangled level 1 sentry. They're not, I mean, they're barely touching the cart. This is really the biggest issue with this whole offense, is that they have not put any pressure on the cart, so MurderForce has been able to just fight them wherever they want.
And none of their pushes have gone spectacularly well, but if you put someone on the cart during your Uber, then most it should take to push any point is 3 Ubers, because
Yeah.
someone on the cart, you get at least some progress.
Such
Pulse
a big
is-
advantage, and Pulse is the only one down on the cart right now. I mean, this should be it, but
Yeah.
this cart could have been here a couple minutes earlier if they'd have just pressured a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that as well, especially in the previous encounter. They're going to get it done now. I think Akuma got some big bastard headshots at the end there. We are going to get a time of 9:35 by Gentleman's Club. And that was, well, MurderForce put on 5 minutes the first time. So, I mean, they have about 4 minutes to work here.
Yeah,
4 minutes extra. So.
I think if Gentleman's Club can get a couple good holds on the first, second, or third point, they'll be just fine this round. Is they did end up holding the last point for, I don't know, like a good 3-4 minutes last round, even though the time was only like about 5.5.
Yeah,
So
remember they
know that
didn't hold second or third at all last round.
Yeah.
So if they get those holds, they can still do that time.
Yeah, absolutely. 9:35 is it's a pretty average time, like a couple seasons ago. But
Yeah.
kind of a little bit of a slow time now.
We talked about that on Monday, yeah.
But in scrims between these two teams, I've definitely seen Gentleman's Club hold MurderForce to longer times than that, so it's definitely doable for them.
Definitely with payload, I mean, it's so different from the other types of TF2 because it is objective-based, you know? And with objective-based maps or gameplays, you know, if you fail to get one certain objective, you're going to be stuck on that for a very long time. So definitely, if we could see an actual second defense, which we haven't seen all match long, so, you know, MurderForce has no idea what to do if they really get stuffed on second. And that's definitely going to be pretty key to the defense here.
Yeah, Gentleman's Club's been playing really reactionary so far, and they need to put this game in their own hand. Kind of control the flow.
Yeah, definitely. You can't just let them dictate how it's going to happen. And Arthur goes down to a stabby. He's going to get cleaned up, but that's still a pretty important pick. Max gets a snipe down low on Sigafu. Blue is on the cart, trying to pressure out the Uber. Instead, it is Red that is Ubering. Great does come in. The medic completely separated from anybody of value. Now, Ruin trying to push in here.
Wow, they used that Uber and pushed past the gun to try to get Max. Remedy did.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
And
Max
didn't
is
really
not
work.
that big of a factor. They don't seem to be focusing him. I don't know if they just...
Yeah, not on this point. There's not really any angle that he's going to be able to get on a medic on this point. He's going to be able to watch the hill, but that's kind of it.
Ash and Paragon go down. That's a big aspect of the flank, losing your scout and soldier. So things starting to open up for Blue here as Ruin comes from down low. Gets a kill on Pulse, so the gun definitely coming down next. Sigafu with the Wrangler. And now Pyro is in here. Fathom mixing things up. And a big battle down on the cart. Red keeping Blue at bay right now. But MurderForce starting to come back in here.
Yeah, Kozen went down to another really big bomb from Remedy. I think he might have jumped from spawn, actually. He did one of those really big jumps off the wall.
And on one hand, that was a decent start to the defense here. And on the other hand, what was our main topic as the gates were coming down here? Holding the second point. Where's Blue team or Red team? They got 5 of them just coming out of the gates. Pulse is already building up on 3. And even that, I don't know how fully set up he's going to be by the time Blue player is going to be there mixing it up with him.
They did learn their lesson this time and just went straight to third after that.
Yeah.
Third's a much better hold, but still, Indus has full advantage. So if they use the Uber correctly, Max is going down. They really need to get a force out of Indus really early, and Kozen needs to stay alive here for them to have any chance at winning this round.
Yeah, no real early pressure though. I mean, it's just the scout up top, Paragon, and now the Uber coming out, but they're already at cold corner. It's already all cleared out. The sentry gun only level 2.
Yeah, if Kozen gets this Uber, they can come back in. The cart's still so far back that it's not within the realm of impossibility.
Big stab by Akuma. He's not going to follow up stab on the Pyro, but he does get the revolver. Oh, and then it does. Huge plays.
Akuma 3K. Wow.
And Ash
Crazy.
with 14 health. He's going to sneak away from this one as well.
Yeah, look how far back that cart is. I mean, MurderForce, they kind of had the right idea, but they needed to kind of back up and get that cart moving and not try to hold so far forward like they did. They were kind of separated when they did that, and Akuma really picked them off.
And when they pushed forward and they didn't have anybody else to focus, they sort of got their positions, but no one was shooting up towards the gun. And it was a level 2, so it doesn't shoot back without Wrangler as the level 2.
Yeah. Now, gun is level 3 at the moment. He's a bit more set up here. Let's have a dispenser as well. Max with a nice snipe on Shrugger. Shrugger very dangerous.
Let's see what's going on. If they're just trying to, Indus just trying to kind of buff everyone, build his Uber. They're probably going to try to drive push it a little bit here just to see if they can get that cart moving. MurderForce has been doing a pretty good job about that this entire match, but
yeah,
they're just going
the
to
question too is where they're rolling, but they're 95%, so they're surely going to just run through this house. Looks like Bop Uber, as soon as they see some stickies or something, Medic was a little bit far behind. He gets thrown forward, which is actually going to help them out, but no, he just ditches Ruin. Ruin staying alive right now. Red should just kill him. There he goes, finally down by Grave. I think that they needed to keep Ruin alive, but they have done really good damage here. Just the sentry gun is not going to go down.
Yeah, Kozen doing a great job of staying alive. They lost quite a few on that push that probably was kind of unnecessary. They probably could have kind of soloed on the cart with Grape, or maybe just Grape and Arthur to kind of clean everyone up, but too many people kind of got in that Uber there, and you can't flash that much, so kind of went down.
Again, Indust is building faster. We could see another push with a 20% advantage.
It certainly would be helpful for them trying to come in here and try to do some damage. And
I think he lost his advantage actually when he got almost killed by a body shot.
Yeah, there goes Ruin as well, so...
Kind of getting impatient, trying to come up and get the gun, but Ruin gets taken down. So
yeah, Kozen does end up with the Uber about 5% faster, so he's going to feel safe. That level 3 sentry still up. Medic heavy round the corner with the Dim Man, with the sniper. So Red is definitely posted up in all their locations. Max getting snipes. Blue Scout trying to come in here. We'll see if Shrugger can open anything up. Ash is with him as well. Or sorry, Remedy. Ash cleaning
they're just going to push on the ground. They're actually down a few, so this push is kind of risky.
Oh my god.
Ruin decided to jump straight up, but that's not Ubered. Can't be Ubered up there, bro.
He did kill Pulse. As Pulse cratered in the corner.
Oh wow.
So the gun is going to go down. Stabby gets it. Very bizarre set of circumstances. As Ruin ended up just getting crazy thrown forward there. We saw it from Indus' perspective. But after Ruin was in there, he was stuck up against the corner of the sentry gun just pounding away at him. But he did do great damage to it and threw Pulse into the corner to die. But they didn't capture the cart, and it's about to roll backwards here in a few seconds.
I was a little worried about Max playing too far forward there, as he's been such a big key part of this defensive hold on third point, getting the snipes, making sure that Fox can't get anyone as MurderForce kind of baits the cart, baits Gentleman Club into moving toward it. But he moves back. See what's going on now. I mean, Kozen's got a healthy advantage. Indus just building with Ruin at the moment. They're gonna probably have time to get this gun back up, I would think. Yeah,
it's already level 2. It's about to level 3 in a second.
No problem. There you go. He's just doing the loop, picking up extra metal, throwing down his dispenser now. Not sure if there's a teleporter as well. If he can really get that set up, then he will be fully loaded.
Actually, earlier the teleporter went down to a snipe. I have no idea where it was.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was actually right where Indust is right now, right by the dispenser. And Max that's what I was kind of worried about. He was so far forward that he was trying to snipe people taking the telly, but ended up just picking the telly itself.
Spy's gonna get on. Oh, okay, never mind. I thought Spy was maybe. You know, he did stop it rolling backwards by just briefly decloaking. Dispenser, he's gonna have to jump over and he gets spotted right away. So Stabby not gonna be able to infiltrate and do any of his trademark name. Kuma goes down as well, so no Spy action on either side.
Max
oh my god.
Dropped Indus. So this is a free Uber for Kozen. They just need to make sure the card doesn't move up, and they need to stay alive, and they're going to do a fantastic job of that. Pulse does actually go down to Shrugger, of all things. Shrugger snuck up top, and he's up top with Remedy right now, but they're kind of locked out by
down.
Yeah.
Very interesting turnaround here by MurderForce, who weren't in the best circumstances. Spy is in as well as Stabby's going to come out here. Oh, and his first target would have been Max, who's wearing that Razorback, so couldn't do anything there. But Red was a little bit timid. I think they're going to start getting out here a little bit more, put some more pressure on this cart, and try to drive things off. Oh, Kuma comes from behind, just gets Fox, but that'll give Max a little bit more room to work with.
Yeah, they're kind of, I like what Gentleman's Club is doing, kind of being a little bit non-committal to the cart. Try to do what they can, but they need to keep Kozen up, and they need to not die here. They need to hold every advantage they can. There's only 90 seconds left.
Wow.
If Kozen stays alive, this should be Gentleman's Club round.
Same thing to Indust, who has a crit.
Wow, as I say,
they come around with it. Here comes Pyro, though, on Indust. He's going to take him down. Actually, Paragon gets the credit for it. A lot of frags on blue, but red doesn't have much up right now. The cart's still not captured, so not
Everyone
getting
decides
those
to
better
run
spawns.
away from the cart to try and get a health
Oh,
kit.
the gun is actually still there.
Wow.
But it's
Got
level
it back
2.
up
It
to
can
level
only
2.
shoot out that window
Yeah, yeah.
downwards with Wrangler.
But
And Remedy, 168, he hasn't really gotten out there and put good damage on that gun. He was kind of scared at it, but he's starting to do more work on it now. Oh, there's a Rescue Ranger on it as well, firing those healing bolts from afar. And now the engineer's going to ditch it. They realize, well, third point's captured, so should still have a decent amount of time. Indust also gets an Uber Saw on Akuma. So that's going to push the Uber charge along a little bit
quite a
faster.
bit ahead, but the cart needs to not stop right now. Max taking down the heavy. They need to push on the dime as soon as they get this Uber. And the cart really can't stop the entire time either. So if they get a huge wipe here in the corner, Gentleman's Club is playing pretty close.
This is 23 seconds. I'm not sure.
It's possible, but it can't really stop moving. It has to go. There's the Uber coming out of the window right now. Kozen's probably going to go down. He's down. They're doing a decent job of keeping pressure on the cart, but too many going down for Murder Force right now. Ash coming in.
Yeah.
Puts a ton of damage out on the cart. Just a couple people left. Not enough. We got a game, guys.
Very well played there by Gentleman's Club. Murder Force not able to do it at the end. You know, I think there was a lot of things going on there, especially whether that was in fact a technical impossibility. You know, at some point there on the corner, you know, how far can it really go? I guess that would be a pretty awesome spectator HUD idea. It just came to me like a flash. If you just have like the track light up, you know, like what's the theoretical, you know, maximum? And just at some point, it's just like, yeah, this game's basically over because they can't push it that fast. Yeah. But I mean, the thing is, you've got to have that ×3, and they didn't at the end there. So maybe there was a chance, and ×3 is so important.
Yeah, they only put ×1, and even then it was a couple seconds after they popped the Uber. Like, you don't want to get on the cart because you'll die, but in a situation like that, you have to get on it right away.
And I'm not the Vince Lombardi of TF2, but the Portland Burnsiders Highlander team, Steel Division this last year. But anytime with them or the other Highlander teams I've played with in the past, whenever we play Payload, I cannot stress ×3 enough. You know, it's just the format. The format comes down to stopwatch, and you never know when in the second point when you could have had ×3 on there, and instead of it's just your pyro kind of dicking around or your engineer just lonely little pulse on it. Versus like, then at the end where you're like, oh, I wish we had another extra 15 seconds, that would have made that a lot more comfortable at the end. So certainly that's a big factor in Payload, and now we'll get to see a fantastic third set here. I think they just readied up again, but we do have some setup time that we can kind of talk about things real quick. Huey,
looking at the stats, Kozen and Grape just had such a better second round there. Grape was 30-6. Which is crazy on demo. Only dying 6 times. Kozen only died 5 times, and us 8, and that was really it. Their defense, you keep your medical up, keep your medic up, keep your demo up, and you have all the spam you need on the Uber to defend anytime you need it. And they just grouped up around Kozen and kept him alive a lot better that second round. And if they do that again,
really good damage as well.
Right now, I think they're playing a little bit better. Like judging by that second round, if they just keep people around Kozen. The pick classes aren't really doing too much to the medic on either side, so it's just who can keep their medic up is kind of it. Yeah.
Now, Murder Force, Stabby made some big plays. Definitely some of those moments. Not really the pick classes involved. Really, some of the teams kind of warm up a little bit more, but now it's just going to be kind of down to the raw basics of TF2 who can put on a better set right now. So Murder Force is going to start with the offense here. See if Ruin can get a big set, or if Grape will out-damage him as well, once again. I think the first set was definitely a little bit hotter for Ruin. Right now, Ruin jumps over the top as well. He's just going to get gone. Oh no, stays alive for a decent amount of time, considering the circumstances. The Uber is forced out. Blue has pretty much lost everybody else. Sigafu is up, and Fathom and Spawn. It's just building up. So they're going to keep Indust tucked away as Blue just kind of slowly pushes out here.
Yeah, they did what they wanted to do with that suicide, which was get a force out of Kozen. Indust full Uber advantage. Where is he going to come? He's going to just come up on the top. They've already moved, though. This gun.
Also was going to back out and pull his gun out, but Stabby just decloaked right there and sapped it right before he could Rescue Ranger it out.
Wow.
I'm assuming you cannot Rescue Ranger if the gun is sapped.
No, you cannot.
Okay. Thank you, Engineer.
Yeah, I think you
That's why
as
you
well.
can't. Otherwise, you could just play away from it.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's just got the level 1 up top. Nobody kind of in the stair room, but Ruin is coming quickly. Not many players up here to assist the engineer and holding this Demo Man medic combo off. Ubercharge is here for Indus, but I think he said no, let's not use it. Heavy weapons guy Snailboat is here. Ash jumping in. Not going to be enough pressure though to force the medic to pop. Ash gets on the cart and does finally go down to a nice corner shot by Remedy. That 80 health himself. Uber has been popped up top, but Red is definitely in retreat mode here.
I'm watching Stabby. He's standing just to the right of the gun, trying to get behind. Uncloak on Max. Arthur spots him out, but that could have been big.
Yeah, this is definitely more of a forward hold out of Gentleman's Club than we saw last round from him.
They're gonna... Looks like Ubers were traded kind of away from each other, but Gentleman's Club uses theirs to get back up on the roof and hold some roof presence. It's kind of a weird thing to do without a gun to watch the cart, but that's the whole point of the roof.
Yeah,
is that you have high ground and they can't push the cart, but Remedy's sitting behind.
That's
like he
exactly
wants to jump in.
And I think even a wrangle gun on the ground, even if the engineer was to like walk up the roof, you can still hit it. You can still support up there. He's actually getting some damage on Remedy briefly as Blue is now trying to storm onto the roof. Probably should pull that fairly soon here, though.
I don't think he has the metal to do it. I
Yeah,
could be wrong. Oh, and he gets sniped.
Yeah, too much investment, and I think we talked about the difference between the engineers, and I think Sigafu would have already pieced out on that.
I agree. I mean, that was... Pulse was the most forward player on his team when he died, and that's never really something you want as an engineer.
Spy is in here for Stabby, or Stabby for Gentleman's... sorry, MurderForce. All my names mixed up.
These names are
just
hard.
dead ringers. Yeah.
Kozen did hold on to his Uber, and Indus was popped after the second point was capped. So we're going into this same situation we had last round with Gentleman's Club, minus a sentry gun, though, holding his third point.
Pulse just coming back into it, and the card is pretty far down. Spy for Red certainly sees what's going on, sees how far back Blue is. So they do have some time here to get this gun up, because there's another 20% for Indus to build. So level 1 just completing. Maybe we'll have it level 2. Maybe we won't even bother. Just have to wrangle it here.
Yeah, they're kind of trying to bait people down towards the cart. Trigger just keeps getting up there and pressing it forward a little bit. This is actually really, really good for MurderForce. They've gotten the cart so close.
Also, another big pick I just want to point out real quickly was Akuma got a stab on Fox. And I mean, Spy for Sniper always good, but when the Sniper was lining up on Pulse, who now gets backstabbed by a Stabby. Nice, you know, from the shadows comes out. I would make a Game of Thrones reference, but no spoilers, you know.
And they have people on the cart for this Uber, which is important because we haven't been seeing that. And I think they are going to get it, just not because they win this fight necessarily, but just because they have people on the cart.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Pulse going down was big there because we talked about the importance of that gun. And I mean, he ended up not being his fault. The time before, he was certainly risky and exposed. Akuma with the pick on Fox, which he does again, was important because it gave Pulse the coverage, but then Stabby coming in and they just cleaned that up. But you got wrapped around by Akuma, big stab on Indust.
Both medics went down. Shrugger actually came in right before the Akuma stab on Indust and kind of danced around the combo and took down Kozen, so both medics still dead. Cart is moving. This is, I don't know, MurderForce is playing the cart a lot better.
I think they need to stay on the cart right now. Could have gotten a few more.
There's no one hitting the cart right now. They should be sitting on it, but mostly they've been doing a much better job.
A lot of players still coming out, but I think that Fathom could have been on the cart a little bit earlier there. They're playing it slow. Just, you know, at that point, it's like it's worth it to sacrifice your engineer to get another 20 feet. I know nobody has a reference for what 20 feet is in TF2, but it sounded about right.
How many hammer units?
Yeah. Is that 4 heavies, you know, in a row, or 5? I don't know.
Oh wow, Kuma. Just a jump stab Fox. Took him down.
There's also a reflect kill in there by Puddles on Remedy. Uber for Blue is moving through the map room. Brennan's gonna popped out a little bit early. Maybe they were fearful of stickies. Just a wrangled minigun for Red.
This Uber's doing nothing. They're just now getting in the cart. Kozen's gonna have his Uber to come up. No one really died except Paragon during that. So
I think the Uber gave them territory, but I think they also might have fleed from the cart a little bit early.
If
Yeah,
you
well,
get territory with your Uber, you need to make sure the other team pops theirs, or you're just gonna lose it. That's
Yeah,
the problem.
Kozen had just jumped back into spawn, so he wasn't watching. Stabby does take down Max.
And the gun.
Yeah, and the gun, so... MurderForce still holding on this high ground. We're trying to spam this corner as everyone's kind of peeking around, Snowboat's peeking around. Pulse is back. He's running minis, actually, so he's given up trying to get a level 3 up for the time being. Fathom coming up, trying to fight Ash.
Oh, and there goes Pulse, sniped down by Fox. So no more wrangled minis.
Well, the cart's
Ash.
moving backward. Might be the second time it gets back up to the top of this hill.
Yeah, always positive to have
Stabby's
the
gonna-
cart sliding backwards. Stabby touches it.
I'm gonna watch Akuma. He's trying to sneak behind right now. He's sitting up on top of the. Never mind. Let's pretend I didn't.
Oh my
even
god,
say
big
that.
bomb in! And he holds on to the Uber charge, has not used it yet. Wow. That was a little bit of balls from Kozen to hang on to that. He got thrown up in the air, but no follow-up shot by Remedy, and the sandwich was quickly distributed, so ended the panic there.
I think Kozen's definitely the type that will say, I'm not using unless I want to use, so I'm going to hold this. If I can't hold it for the right position, we're screwed anyway, so...
Now,
My slogan is, Pop
Fox
don't
was
drop
actually
it,
getting
and...
overhealed there, and both Akuma and Max headshot him at the same time, so we died.
Oh man. Now, Pop It Don't Drop It is my logo. We got 2 fantastic design t-shirts by We Make Good Tea that say it, but sometimes, even me, when I'm playing Medic, I'm just like, dude, you gotta get the kill here. You know?
when
like you're
when
staring
time
at the
is a
soldier,
factor,
and you're like,
it becomes
Yeah.
like, you need this Uber, so he's going to hold it. Probably more so on offense than defense, but Kozen's ballsy. I like it.
yeah. It's also the experience of, you know, if you get popped up in the air by a soldier, you surf it away. You have plenty of time to see whether he's gonna hit a crazy shot on you. Now, Paragon kills out Stabby. He's going to go down, though, to Strucker. So some good pressure coming in here from Blue as Kozen forced to use a little bit early. So Blue probably going to follow up with his Uber charge. They need to not lose too many players here. Still have some players in deep. Sigafu actually gets cleaned up, as does Remedy. So the Uber charge is there, but Kozen has survived and
they're going
getting
to
the
wait.
heals out.
Surely they're going to wait till they get some respawns and come up. And yeah. Smart room from MurderForce. They got the force out, lost a lot. They're going to wait and come back in with...
And
Speaking of waiting,
yeah, we have a pause actually. So, yeah, something 2 minutes from the future they have paused. So hopefully everything is fairly smooth and we're not here too long. But obviously we have no idea, so we'll see.
Yeah, this could be... Who knows? This could be this same offensive push, or this could be the teams have switched. We're starting the next one and there's a pause.
Where do you think they take this Uber through? You think they go maps, or you just think they go straight down the track room? Right now, it looks like they're maybe leading for map room.
Yeah, it's looking like they want to go map room, and that's not bad. When you have full advantage, because you can get that map room for free, and you can leave some people up there to kind of spam down while you Uber through. And one of the things that I've seen teams do is they'll Uber out of map room, and then they'll just kind of use the Uber to get whatever kills they can. And they'll either run back up the right side and try to get out through map room, or they just run back toward the cart. So that's probably what's going to happen, is they're going to have a plan to kind of cycle their way through with their Uber.
Yeah, I like that map room drop down, but also I think that, I mean, you correct me if you feel differently, but I feel like that's a great attack when there's that level 3 sentry gun. You know, where you either have it right below the map room or you have it across the way. It's a good route to challenge that, but we're not seeing that from Pulse. We're seeing those miniguns. So I don't know if that would make a big difference and really open up that ramp push, because last time they came through the room, it didn't really happen.
Yeah,
I feel like map room against minis that are up top is just not going to be the push you want. I agree with that. I think they're best just, if the sniper is down, just kind of coming through main and getting pressure on the cart directly.
Yeah, Kozen, if they've been counting Uber, which I'm sure Indust knows, that if they just pressure the cart with this Uber, Kozen might not be able to get it in time before it's so close that it doesn't matter anymore. What Gentleman's Club looks like they want to do is the same thing they did last time, which is just have Kozen duck back into spawn, try to keep as many people alive, then Uber back into them, which they can do as long as the cart is far back. So this is going to be down to whether or not they pressure the cart as MurderForce Ubers in.
Yeah, I think they have a great opportunity with this Uber. Get in before Kozen has it, and they need a successful push here. If they can pull it off, if they can make it happen, then should be should be all good. I mean, they can kill Kozin, but if it fails, then Kozin's going to have an overcharge and might be able to just totally reset up their defense, whether it's pulse switching to a regular gun or just kind of getting everybody in those places and keep people away from things. So, you know, reclaim that territory.
I mean, I think they should know what Gentleman's Club is going to do. Is Stabby's looking at them from across the bowl here. But I don't know.
The pause is in the future, 2 minutes in game time. So
well,
this is not
but I
necessarily
mean, he should still be able to have call it out by now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we are calling the minutia at this. So
yeah, I'm looking at Fathom just flaming Fox's face directly. Good old fashioned. I used to do this on 2 Fort when the game was new. I'd go pyro and I just spray flames right in front of the snipers on my team.
That's Huey Lewis, how he got his start, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
Everybody's got to start somewhere, man. I was pubbing today. Part of the experience of pub TF2 versus Highlander TF2. I was pubbing today and playing some sniper on good old Gold Rush, and I was like, yeah, I'm like 0-4 right now, but a lot of crazy spam, a lot of crazy spies, and Highlander, of course, if you're newer to the game, a very nice way to just kind of focus things in a little bit more. And really, you have players like Max who just, you know, shine. I mean, if you put him in a pub, he's going to destroy some people, but he's going to die. But a situation like this, you know, you have so many tactical things that every class is thinking about. It's a fantastic way to play TF2.
So what was your first day in TF2? What does your medal say?
My medal?
Yeah.
I'll have to look up my medal, which apparently I can't right now. Maybe if we're here for a long time, I'll pull up my backpack.
We probably will be. They still have 17 as of right now.
Oh, really? Okay. I'll pull up my backpack.
What's yours say, Frank?
Figure it out.
I don't know what mine says. I started on Xbox on launch day.
Oh,
nice. I got some shout outs too. I wanna hear more about Xbox from you, Frank.
Oh man, Xbox did not. When TF2 came out, it kind of was very, very, very broken. And Xbox was only allowed 4 balance patches before they had to start paying for it, so it stayed broken. And it eventually became less of a game of TF2 and more of a game of who knew the most exploits and ways to combine them, and who could get up to the skybox the fastest on Dust Bowl, for instance.
Did you have a main on Xbox?
Oh god, I don't even. It was Spy back then too, I'd say. Although I really liked, and when my first day in playing the game, I just do what I always do. I went into developer commentary and I just looked at all the classes and what they could do. And the fact that NG could build buildings that like change the way the game played blew my mind.
Yeah, engineer is a great class. I ended up busting that in my pub experience the other day. Xbox TF2 has a special place in my heart. I'm a TFC player actually, and that's when I was in high school and I was sniping TFC. Man, you know, just kind of some of the first couple moments of like pure gaming joy, where like just destroying fools and having so much fun and being like, this is something that I really, really enjoy.
That game was hard. I remember trying to get into TFC. I was a Counter-Strike guy when I was like middle school and high school.
It's tough. I went TFC into Counter-Strike, and I was never really super good at conch jumping or some of the other crazy things that people can do in that game. TFC is definitely hard. Old school, shout out to Weapons Factory, which is like a Quake mod that was based off of the Team Fortress, like kind of the concepts of the original Team Fortress mod. And there's a lot of cool stuff back there. Actually, you know, one that I was just thinking of the other day that used to have engineers or maybe spies. I don't know. A couple people used to have grappling hooks back in the Quake days. So, you know, maybe bring back the engineer grappling hook. I don't know. Crazy.
I think I remember like towards the beginning of TF2, someone had modded in a grappling hook. I don't remember which class it was. I think it was Spy.
I vaguely remember that. That was one of the first server mods.
I think so. Do you remember this, Frank? It was like a grappling hook for the Spy.
I remember just a grappling hook mod for everybody. I don't know. I know a lot of people suggested one for Spy.
Yeah,
that was my main.
Anyways, TFC into Counter-Strike, and then I pre-ordered TFC. Like as soon as I started playing Counter-Strike, and I saw TF2 or like the original like military shooter stuff, I was like, Dad, I want to pre-order this. When it was like a $30 expansion pack for Half-Life, you know, it's like, let's do this. And then, you know, of course, the years went by for all of us suffered, you know, not hearing anything. When it finally did come out, though, after, you know, the reveals and all this, when it finally did come out, I like look at the requirements and I'm like, oh, my video card's not strong enough, you know. And I'd had that system for a lot of years in college, and I convinced my buddy who was an Xbox gamer. I was like, dude, you got to give this game a shot. You know, we got to buy this game. So yeah, from release date, I was playing Xbox TF2, maybe for like another month after the game released until it was also a cool experience. My parents came down, and my dad brought me a video card because he does tech stuff. And I installed it, and I told them about I was so happy to play the new version of this game that I pre-ordered in you know, high school. And they're like, well, let's get to it.
We do have an unpause.
Yeah, no problem. We were at the end of the story. They let me get to it, and now TF2. So let's get right back to this match. See how this Uber comes in. They are in, and look like they're making some effects. We got some wonkiness with effects, but the heavy is right around the capture point. Minigun is wrangled, but a lot of players in trouble.
Kozin is alone in map room.
Yeah.
Oh, this is definitely the cap here.
Clubs, or MurderForce's push was when they jumped out of map room. It looked like Pudding tried to air blast the combo, and he actually air blasted the heavy directly into Grape.
Oh man,
which didn't go so well for them. But the pause. Just looking at the players in the server, I don't think it's been updated in the STV quite yet. Yeah, it's actually back down to 17, so that scares me a little bit. But it looks like B-Man is in for Pulse.
Yeah, someone in chat says Pulse crashed, so that's why the pause happens.
Well, hopefully everything was fine in terms of when they started, but it might actually have the gates might have dropped. We'll see how the clock works out here.
Yeah, and if indeed it is B-Man coming in for Pulse, it's on offense. That's pretty solid.
Yeah,
that's not bad at all.
Should be all right. So again, let's get back to the gravity of the situation since we did have a bit of a pause. But right now, 8:59, the offensive time turned in by MurderForce 9000. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is our last half of Highlander for the evening. Can Gentlemen's Club beat that 9-minute time on their offensive push here? Gates about to drop. Let's see what they do.
3, 2, 1.
Should be a big bomb out here from somebody, and then just pressure pushing the cart and getting it in the tunnel. Paragon on the cart right now, keeping that ×2 at least. Spy coming in behind, going to try to take out Paragon. It does. Doesn't quite get a double stab and gets taken out. At least that's something. A Sugar comes up and gets Max, so that's another big kill there. Actually been... Okay, that we passed where the palace was, and looks like...
Yeah, someone else is gone. I think looks like Deadbolt is in on demo actually.
Okay, so maybe Grape having problems and other players having problems.
Grape plays in a dorm, I think. So if there was a fire alarm, it was him.
They're fully down to 8 right now. Wow,
that's pretty brutal.
That's a shame. Yeah, so what are they missing right now?
Literally, Grape
missing their
fire alarm.
Missing
Akuma
Spy.
is not in.
Akuma crashed, I believe, and then they also got. See, that's pretty brutal.
They also lost Grape.
Just bringing a sub, and that's going to be a really, even with the time that they got, whatever it ended up being, that's going to be hard to deal with.
Literally, Grape's fire
down
alarm.
on demo now. Actually managed to take it down. Oh, and does Max drops and falls down onto the cart. His dead electrical body flying around. Looks like Kozin has already used. I can't tell actually. Yeah, Kozin's already used his Uber. They're gonna get this first point though. They're still down a Spy. That's so rough.
We also have Deadbolt in here, so I mean I think they literally lost 3 players there because they don't have Pulse anymore. They lost Grape. And it's a pretty crazy set of circumstances here.
Deadbolt for Grape is not bad. Not a bad trade. B-Man for Pulse isn't too bad either. I mean,
although Deadbolt people who aren't warmed up and were just brought in randomly, that's in the middle of the game. That can be hard.
Deadbolt played demo on Chain Reaction, which was the precursor to Street Hoops. Highlander through Silver, and they won that with the single loss. So he's good. He's good at demo, and they're gonna get the second point.
They are getting good time. I mean, so far, man down or not.
Definitely.
One thing about Spy is that if one team is going very fast towards the other, the Spy does not have that much to do, so it's not a bad class to sacrifice when they're just continuously pushing like this.
Yeah, they're making it happen. I mean, if they can keep the pressure up, keep the aggressiveness, but as long as once there is a solid hold, it could be harder to crack that. Apologies for the HUD being busted, but that's just how Valve works.
really surprised that there hasn't been a spy main that's come back, but I guess if Pulse crashed and Akuma crashed at the same time, that's it. Like, for their spies on this team.
And I'm not quite sure how extensive their roster is as well, because, I mean, that's 3 people that we're talking about. It's not very often you have 3 backups sitting ready to go. It is a big game, though, so...
Yeah, I'm trying to...
we will get some HUD reloads here, which will fix it, but unfortunately they're kind of momentarily fixes. It will eventually kind of click back into updating itself, but for a while it might just kind of be stuck. It does kind of lag the stream, so it's not really preferred for us to just keep hitting H the whole time. Just a little FYI. Max gets sniped down from Fox, so especially without the spy, that's kind of going to slow things down here, but Kozen is ready to go with an Uber charge here. And if Deadbolt can lead the way here, they can push forward here and perhaps take this 3rd point. We're going to need to make some progress here, though.
Yeah, I mean, being down a pick class on even Ubers like this is pretty brutal.
Well, they've actually just switched out Heavy for Spy. Arthur is now Spy. I've never seen him play Spy, and he immediately goes down, so maybe I will continue to not see him play Spy.
Yeah, and that is a real death, not just a dead ringer. As the Uber is in here, Deadbolt trying to spam stickies up here. Scout getting in as well. Scout's going to try to come around, but Paragon taken down. And that's a lot down, just 4 up, 4 blue. Getting down to just Max and Arthur and Kozen, with Arthur on that spy. So at least Kozen stays up, but this is getting worse and worse for Gentleman's Club. Kind of makes you sick, to be honest.
Yeah, this is very unfortunate. I definitely feel for Gentleman's Club. But I mean, when you lose 3 players all at once, even if you can bring subs for 2 of them, I can see where you're just like, let's just go.
Yeah, and tough to say, you know, how they were feeling about it. I mean, we are talking about a 10% difference off of the $3,000 prize pot that was community fundraise, which is a fantastic prize pot. And that's $300 for the team.
Kozen had a pretty decent advantage, but it looks like Stabby's going to come in and the Sentry Gun's cleaning up. Nice
stab on Paragon. You just see Red pushing forward. Yeah. Uber charge coming in as well, and down to just 3 players for blue team. So,
yeah, no heavy means they're kind of free to rush forward without anything really stopping them too much. So,
yeah,
if anything, at this point, I would probably, I don't know, I'd probably say being down like an NG might be the best, but teleports are kind of important too.
Yeah, teleport's super important until they get that forward spawn. That capturing the 3rd point gives them. At that point, they could probably drop Engineer. But certainly right now, you need that forward spawn.
Arthur did go back to heavy. Still got 3 minutes, so this is still doable. The cart's close, but falling back down the hill right now. They need something to reset it, and that's what the spy is. I mean, that's the big part of the spy, is that you can get in and kind of reset it for free, even if you end up dying. So
it's also the information as well as the other offensive capabilities about the Sentry Gun.
He should be in shortly, so that's a positive, I suppose.
Definitely.
Yeah, it might be a little too late, but they're gonna push up here. Let's see. Uber versus Uber looks like. MurderForce, yeah, they're gonna Uber first, actually. Maybe not. No, Kozen's down. My HUD just now finally updated, so.
MurderForce does do good damage there. Yeah, finally, and it's not really tied to. I'm not sure what any of that is tied to. There's the HUD fixing itself, but we have 2 minutes and 22 seconds left. Akuma has joined. Right now on... Okay, there we go, Spy. There's some class weirdness there for a second. But indeed, we are back to full strength on Gentleman's Club. This would be a miracle if they could do it. Right now, the clock, it's a possibility.
Yeah, I'm definitely rooting for them, honestly, at this point. I would like to see
I feel bad, just that all these changes, like... during a pause during the final round of the lower bracket final. It's
a couple people just kind of retuning in and saying, wait, what happened? And so, well, we had a pause. We weren't sure what the cause was of it. There was something in chat saying that Grape had a fire alarm literally pulled. And the other thing that happened, though, was it was a total of 3 players disappearing: Pulse, Grape, and Akuma. They brought in 2 subs, Deadbolt and B-Man, but we're playing with 8 players for a little bit. Now they're back up, and with Akuma have a full class lineup. But
Kozen goes down to Stabby right there after they got the pop they wanted.
Yeah, I think I was gonna say that could have that was really important for Kozen to get out there. They got the pop, and Stabby, I think, just clinched it.
This Sigafu gun as well is also pretty suffocating. He's keeping it alive right now. Does get snapped down by Max, so it's gonna go down shortly here. This is gonna have to be an all hands on deck push. You're gonna have to get ×3 and just keep rolling this thing.
Deadbolt's getting
no
really good
charge
spam
on
on everyone.
Indus. Yeah, no charge on him. So I mean, if they can get a drop early here, continue with these really good stickies, you can make it happen. Kozen's got to be careful. 50 health. I don't know if we have a sandwich on Arthur. Arthur also kind of lit up. Still players pushing on the cart. So
Indus is gonna have Uber though, so that should, as long as he doesn't drop, that should
yeah,
be
this
it.
still might be some time here for this Uber to clear up and them to push, but it's going to be extremely close. Definitely going to have to scatter here. Good frags out from red team. Engineer is going down. That is B-Man. They have rotated, but 20 seconds on the clock. They got a lot of track to go, and Deadbolt's going to come out here now. Good Uber charge. They're going to need players on the cart right now. Max does get a kill on Stabby. He's on the cart. 10 seconds though. This is so much track. Spy comes in, gets picked off. 5 seconds counting down. They're not gonna do it. I am calling it. 3, 2,
just too
1.
little, too late.
Oh my god.
That
You have to think of getting that close with that advantage that they had at the end there. That's without those player subs and being down a player, that probably
if they had
could have
just
gone a different way.
waited for Akuma.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, maybe they didn't know if he was coming back or not, but, like, I don't know. I mean, obviously we can't talk about what happened, but at that point, at the very least, I would have said, can we just bring in a ringer?
Wow.
Because, like, honestly, who's going to be better than Akuma?
Here's what we're reading. Wow. Chat is unfolding a little bit. We don't have it on the stream, so I will censor it a little bit. Fox, right as he leaves, says manner up, but I'll just run through it real quick. Remedy starts out with says, actually, sorry, let's see. Yeah,
Max actually just told me they couldn't wait anymore. MurderForce would let them use subs, and they said MurderForce unpaused for them.
Oh,
but it looks like
okay,
Gentleman's Club had denied a ringer for.
Yeah,
it wasn't a ringer. It was they didn't want to play on Sunday to get Banny in, so they didn't deny a ringer. It was just that they didn't play on Sunday for Viaduct.
For this game coming up, or
for
last
Viaduct.
week.
This is what Remedy was saying in chat. Was that he said that, well, you didn't let us use a ringer on Viaduct, and that was
karma.
That was actually just playing a different day. So that's neither here nor there, actually, honestly.
Yeah, and Pudding not very pleased about it, and as he pieces out. So definitely a little bit of an intense ending there. I don't know if that is controversial enough. Wow, yeah.
It is really disappointing to see a playoff match end not only in a pause, but in drama. That's just not what you want to see after what was otherwise an excellent game, with some people performing much better than I think I've seen them play before. And I mean, it happens, and it's just disappointing when it does.
Yeah. I mean, it's always tough. We'll have to see if there is any contesting by Gentleman's Club, how that went down. I mean, we are talking very slightly over $30 per player. I don't know if there's anything that legitimately they can contest. I mean, if
if they were unpaused on, I don't know if there's a maximum pause length, but I don't think they hit it. I could be wrong.
Yeah, and it kind of comes down to communication. You know, if you unpause without saying anything. But certainly, I mean, they got 2 players in, so maybe they just said no ringer, and they said, well, this is all we can do right now. And they said, well, then we need to play. And again, like, let's try to pull up the roster here real quick for Gentleman's Club, and they do have 17 players on the roster. So I mean, there's a couple players that like Enigma is on the roster, and he actually was around on Team Fortress. So he's playing in ESEA though. So actually, yeah, there's a conflict there, and he couldn't play. So I don't know if Paradox or some of the other players had other conflicts. But certainly a bit of an issue there, and yeah. So some other stuff coming on, and I mean that's how it goes too in terms of ringers and just that circumstance. There is a bit of karma, as kind of that word was thrown about. Teams obviously, should be cordial to each other, but also you really can't blame a team if they want to play by the rules. And
absolutely. I mean, that's why you have backups on your roster for sure.
Exactly, and that's why the rules are the rules as well. So it's all fair in love or tournaments, and if that's just the situation, that is the situation. So
I don't know. I think the bigger issue is I don't know why that. I mean, I'm getting conflicting reports, obviously, but I don't know why the game just wasn't paused longer for Kuma or Pulse or someone to come back. I mean, that was the bigger issue, other than the ringers.
Yeah,
regardless of what class it is just such a disadvantage.
Yeah, bit of a bitter taste in the mouth. I mean, regardless of the circumstances, we do have Sigafu kind of ready to hop in here, so maybe he can just kind of shed a little bit more light on what was happening with that pause and just kind of the decision process. Sigafu, why don't we just first start things off with a hello? How are you doing?
I'm doing well. It's a very intense match. Hopefully, a good one to cast.
Yeah, let's talk about I guess the first couple sets first, and then we can get on to the ugliness.
Yeah.
You feel like you guys built up momentum there in that map, or what did it feel like from your perspective?
Like coming into the game?
Just like, how it went through, round one, you guys had a really good offensive push, and then did you guys stumble, or it was just kind of how it unfolded, that a good start to the second one, and then the defense that happened on the third set?
Yeah, I'd say the first round, I mean, we were ecstatic. Obviously, I think we had a really solid first round. The second round, we had a 10-minute hold on that, around there, like, I think a little bit under 10 minutes, and we were, obviously very happy. Badwater Platinum, 10-minute hold is pretty good. And then, we lost a little bit of momentum coming into that third point. We made some missteps. GC did a good job of they had a good flank play by their soldier and scout that stopped us on the cart, our initial push, and then they had a teleport up behind us that was just causing enough distraction and kind of just causing us to struggle a little bit on that point. Coming into the third round, we put up a good time. We were not too far away from pushing into them. I think, we were feeling good. And then, the whole pause situation happened, which is unfortunate. I mean, none of us wanted that to happen.
Definitely.
But, basically, I don't know. You can...
Yeah, I'll set it up for you. I think that obviously, things happen, and it seemed like a lot of unfortunate circumstances piling up in the face of Gentlemen's Club, as they had Grape go offline, as well as Akuma and Pulse. So, down 3 players. Haven't really heard anything, or had a few exchanges of words with some players from Gentlemen's Club. I'm not sure. Obviously they have a bit more of an extensive roster. They have a few more players, but obviously those 2 players were the only 2 they were allowed to, or able to pull in. I don't know if there's anything you could illuminate from what they were telling you and what the circumstances were from their perspective, as well as just how you guys felt about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Basically, so last week, on our Monday match. When we played against DRS, they actually ended up using Carl as a ringer, which we were fine with. DRS is a good team. They let other teams use ringers. In our first match of the season, or first match of playoffs against GC, Indus had to be on vacation, and so we went and talked to Gentlemen's Club, asked them for a medic ringer. Basically, they denied us. So we then ended up, they're like, you have players on your roster, that's what you have backups for. Okay, so then we wanted to use Banny and play on a Sunday, because, Banny could play Sunday, he couldn't play Monday. Banny could fill in for our demo, and Ruin would medic. Well, they didn't want to play on Sunday, even though they had their full lineup ready to go, is my understanding. Or they had everybody, it looked like, from their sizzling stats. So come Monday, we now have to use, I think, who did we use? We used Smacka on medic, because they, again, refused a medic ringer. I don't know. That just is boggling to me, a medic ringer. And so that was very frustrating to us. Then our scout, Sugar, his keyboard broke 40 minutes before the match. No scout ringer allowed. No ringers allowed in that match. We ended up going 0-4. Again, we're not afraid of competition. We're not afraid of that stuff. But it's just like, what? If you guys are gonna, it's kind of karma. That's just the way it kind of works out. And the unpausing, there's a rule of 5 minutes. Again, they wanted to be sticklers to us. That's just kind of the way it came out. So we allowed ringers before, but they kind of built this hole that, they dug their own hole here, and we were just following the rules.
Yep, fair enough. Well, congratulations to you for your guaranteed second place finish. Let's talk to you a little bit about the match that you guys have coming up Monday night. Once again, that will be at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. We had a fantastic crowd here tonight. Hope you guys join us on Monday. You guys are going to be up against Menace to Society, also on a best of 3. What are your thoughts about that matchup?
I'm very excited for it. I think Menace to Society is a fantastic team. And, you know, it's going to be a really tough match. I mean, Menace to Society, they're the team that turns it on in playoffs, and they showed that, taking out ET in Gully Wash and then GC last week, or this Monday, I should say. So my thoughts are it's going to be a really tough matchup, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Excellent. Now, one final question that maybe if you can't answer, maybe Huey and Frank West can chime in. I think I know the answer, but clarify it, please, for us and the viewers. If there's a payload map picked, are we just going to do one set? Is that how that's going to be handled?
That'll be the default. That's the default, so it'll just be a single round, unless the teams both agree to play it out fully.
All right.
Was that how they're doing it? I actually
that's the way it has been actually. So nothing has changed. Most times, and then teams don't really agree to play it out. So
don't pay attention to rules
until you have to play a third.
I have to.
yeah. It
could be very long. We had an hour and a half essentially of scheduled start time for just this payload map. A full best of 3 with even one payload map could last quite a while. But we're very excited to see you guys on Monday night. I'm going to invite these. We have Duder coming, but even if it's myself and Duder, we can have one of these fine gentlemen join us. If Duder is unable to join us, I hope we get the gang back together. And very excited about that match. So, Sigafu, thanks for joining us. I'll give you an opportunity for some quick shout-outs. So take it away.
Just shout out to MurderForce. Played great today. I don't know. Shout out to MTS for the pregame scrim to get us warmed up. And, just looking forward to next Monday.
Excellent. Well, thanks again for joining us. Thanks again to the viewers as well for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed that February Top 10, which just came out. Definitely a little bit late, but don't worry. I already have the March one for commentary. We'll be dealing with that soon. And all sorts of fantastic stuff going on. Make sure to check out the threads on teamfortress.tv and Reddit. I put a thread up today about the GXL LAN. Sound off. Sigafu is going to be in attendance. Huey, you going to be there?
That's the plan right now.
Excellent. I'm very excited about it. I don't know. Frank, are you going to be there? Frank?
I don't think so.
It's very close to you, Frank. It's in Philly.
Well, there's still time. 6 months away, so we still got time to convince Frank West, as well as anybody else out there viewing it who's near the Philadelphia area. It's going to be a fantastic event. It is a BYOC. Bring your own computer LAN. $35 to get in. 15 if you want to just come in as a spectator. So we're very excited about that. More details about the tournament will be on the way. But it will be a buy-in tournament, and we're expecting quite a few teams since 60 people already signed up, including Kozin. So he's going to see Sigafu there, and it's going to be a great time. So on behalf of Huey and Frank West, as well as our fantastic cameraman Colt, who did a great job tonight, thanks so much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. I am eXtine, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.